Hey guys, and welcome back to the Divine Witch. So today we're going to go over cleansings based on your request. For those of you who don't know, we do have a group called the Divine Witch where you guys can interact, have discussions, along with you guys get to choose, what topics that we are going to discuss for that week. And this week it is cleansing techniques. So I'm going to give you guys a few examples and we're going to talk about cleansing techniques and what exactly is cleansing techniques. So the first question being is what is cleansing techniques? See, when you're doing cleansings, there's different types of cleansings for different types of things. So it can be a cleansing for oneself, a cleansing for an item. Some people prefer to let their dogs roam, like mine are, and terrorize while I'm doing a video. That's how I do my cleansings. Not really, but it is what it is. Anyway, like I was saying, there's different cleansings for different things, and sometimes people just use one thing. It's up to you. But I will say this, especially if you're dealing with demons, malicious spirits, not all cleansings work the same. And eventually on this channel, I will go into a more in depth discussion on, you know, figuring out your issue along with different advanced cleansing techniques that you can use. Because, as we know, just like no two witches are the same, no two entities, no two spirits are the same. And sometimes it may work on one, but it may not work on the other as well. So, the first thing that I want to talk to you about is sound cleansing. Now, this one is my bell. I've had it for a while, which if you look, you can see. She's been through the war, pretty much. Now, when it comes to doing bells, there's a few rules of thumb. First up, that you need to do is when you're doing bells, you need to figure out what's symbolic for you. So you could say ringing a bell 3 times in each room is symbolic for you, or it could be 9 times. It's whatever feels right for you in your practice. Now, one thing I will say when it comes to using bells, they are perfect after you've said a cleansing chant. They are great for opening your circles, closing your circles, the whole 9 yards. Now, if you're a Hecate follower or devotee, or Hecatite, as some like to call them, you're going to use keys. This is another cleansing technique that you can use, especially when you're doing ritual work, spell work, meditation, or just, your everyday cleansing. Because as we know, when we work with Hecate, keys are very symbolic. They open doorways, they can close doorways, and they are also a symbol of Hecate. So as you see here, I've got my keys, and what I'll do is I'll go around the home and I will shake these keys 3 times in each direction of the room and say my little prayer to Hecate, which I will make a video about that, and I will also post it on here so you guys have it if you would like to use it. I am going to go through prayers and stuff like that eventually in a video, so that way you guys can make your own instead of reading out of a book. I feel like I'm not being focused on, but I don't know if it's my computer or if it's me. So it's driving me nuts. Another cleansing technique that you can use is extra virgin olive oil. Now, you're going to see this a lot in Catholicism. You'll see it a lot in Greek past, Roman past, when it comes to olive oil, because the olive branch itself means peace. So, therefore, taking the oil from the olives also means bringing peace, bringing cleansing with that. So, what I do is I go out and I buy, it's not the best of the best, you know what I mean? But it's what I bought around my local area. And then I do a blessing over it. And then if someone's feeling ill within the home, I bless them on the forehead with it. I use it for ceremonies, for rituals. I use it to put on the windows and the door above the doors of my home to protect our home as well. You can also use this when you're doing cloth magic, where you're sewing something and you want to put extra protection. Maybe it's for a loved one, a child, someone who's not feeling well, and you can actually place that with your thumb, either in a crossroads or across. Either way, it doesn't matter. And you can sew it into the blanket, and they'll have that. I would suggest at least once a year redoing that on the blanket that you were giving them, but it's up to you. Now, of course, we also got the most famous way to cleanse, which is saging. Now, there's a lot of controversy when it comes to this. Some people say, white sage you shouldn't use and stuff like that. There's all different types of sages. This is actual, I think it's like either a mixture between white and blue sage. And here's my thing on it. I use it. I don't use it all the time. It is something that I occasionally use. It's easy and it's quick. Now, another technique that you can use if you don't want to use sage is there's so many different herbs. They all have cleansing properties that you can use. You can burn those as well, make your own bundles. You can buy bundles even with it, so you don't have to necessarily use that. Another thing that you can do, which is an ancient Greek way, is either take water from a stream or a river, or take purified water and actually add sea salt to it. And you can use that as cleansing your space. You can cleanse your home with it. If you do floor washes in your home, you can actually do sea salt water with it as well. And then it adds an extra oomph when you're cleansing. Another thing that I would suggest when you're cleaning your home, see it as you're cleansing your home. You're getting rid of all that negative vibes, that stuff that just lays around. Another good thing about the virgin olive oil, if you're making any protection oils or oils for any of your, magical tools, that is perfect to use. One, it is skin safe. If you're using it on a blade, I wouldn't recommend using it on a blade, just for a reason being, put it on the handle. Um, I personally wouldn't put it on the blade. I mean, I wouldn't think it would hurt, but you got to figure it out. Also, a thing, like I was saying with the olive oil, this is skin safe. Whenever you're doing anything to deal with like anointing oils or protection oils or even a cleansing oil, you always want to make sure that it's skin safe, because there's a lot of oils out there that are not skin safe, and there is a lot of smells that are not skin safe. So you always got to make sure that whenever you're making something for you or your coven, make sure you're looking at the ingredients, make sure you're looking and making sure it's skin safe. And if you're buying it from a shop and they don't know if it's skin safe or not, then that should be a big clue for you not to buy from them. So, these are a few beginning techniques for cleansing. Now, there's other things you can do, of course, like I said, with floor washing. Some people will take herbs or different concoctions and rub it on their floors and then sweep it out and then, throw it into the fire to get rid of it. As far as saging or burning anything in your home, you always want to leave some ventilation. So open a window or two when you're doing it. It's just to help you breathe better and to get it the fuck out. Especially if you're sensitive to smells, it's going to be really potent. There's different contraptions that you can get. You can do those incense burners that have the dangly little chain on them. You can do your herbs in that. You can do incense cleansings. There's a bunch of different types of cleansings that you can do. If for some people, if you don't have these tools, use your fingers. Clap, motherfucker, clap. Like you are your own instrument. As long as in your mind it's a cleansing tool, it's going to work. But with that being in mind, like I said, There are certain things that require certain cleansings, no matter how you want to roll the dice. So, here's a few techniques. I hope you guys can use them, enjoy them, and work them into your practice. And always remember, no two witches witch the same. Goodbye, guys.